What's up, guys? Welcome back to Intelligence Maxing day 31. Oh, sorry, 30. So, we are very close to actually having done this for a month now. So, it's pretty exciting. I think 31 days. I'll say 31 days is a month. So, I have one more day, and then we will have officially been intelligence maxing for 31 days. That is insane. I do not feel smarter, but hey, maybe a little bit. So it's working out, I think. Right now, I plan on finishing up my write-up for class. So what I need to do for that is a few things. Mostly just read a bunch of articles and papers, and then after doing that, answer a few questions. So I think what I'm going to do is just start right now. Let me pull it up first on my computer. Okay, so shadow banking, the paper, the runnable, it's just, I believe, a small little paper on the Fed website. It's more of an article, really. And so what I think the article is saying is the shadow bank itself is just an alternate way of financing projects, or maybe another source of financing for different institutions, usually involved in the space of commercial paper, maybe repurchase agreements, securitizations. So I'd say the shadow bank itself is a collection of entities that are alternate forms of financing for different types of institutions. Shadow banking is a collection of non-traditional entities that provide financing for different institutions. Okay. Okay, so money market mutual fund shares. Money market mutual funds money market mutual funds, I guess, are a collection of securities, money market securities, cash, certificate of deposits, commercial paper, repurchase agreements. I think these are all types of money market securities that are able to be quickly converted into cash. So they're highly liquid. Maybe these funds should have some type of, stable net asset value. I think maybe the idea of a money market mutual fund is your cash is pretty secure, you're not going to lose value, and maybe you have a small bit of interest on top of that, so it'll appreciate over time. Shadow banking is a collection of non-traditional entities that provide financing for different institutions. Let's say these say shadow banks, they participate in securitizing products, securitizing assets, securitized products, maybe also commercial paper and repurchase agreements. So shadow banks participates, help finance securitizing products, securitizing assets. Let's say GSE security. GSE security. What is a government sponsored enterprise? Okay. Let's see, securitize products. What's shadow banking industry? Form of money market funds. Securitized products. Okay. consider a leverage. So this one's probably consider a leveraged or unleveraged fund which has an exposure of X% to a broad-based market index and exposure of 100% minus X to an appropriately risk-free asset. Sure. Suppose that the market moves down 1%. Minus 30. So this is interesting. Good, so we have an X exposure. This is the exposure to broad market index. So market moves down 1%, right? Okay. So we have X exposure is equal to negative 300, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, negative 0.5, 0, 0.3, 0.5, 0.6, 0.9, 1, 0.5, 2, 3. Okay, so that's our X exposure, and then NumPy as in P. Okay, let me make sure actually that OBS is taking this. Alright, it still is, so that's good. Alright, now that we have kind of these weights, then we also have, let's see. Okay, so we have, how do we get the returns, right? So we're told that return is -1. You have 1. Returns is equal to mp.array. We have, let's say, -0.0001. Okay, and we can multiply this by 1 length of the x exposure. Okay, and then let's say we returns so we then take the dot product and then think, actually no, we don't want the dot product, we just want the elements by element product. So we have returns, so fund returns of markets and let's just print out fund returns. Display fund returns. Okay. It's 0.006. It's 0.02. Okay, so I think this should match up actually. I think then, what do we need to actually buy? So we have a return of -0.3. So we have to add 0.21. Display fund returns. Okay, so I'm trying to think here. If we have a declined 30% of our overall fund value, right? Okay, so let's say -0.3 times -0.003, right? 0.3 plus this, so what does this give us? 0.2991, alright, and then 0.2991 times 1 plus 0.0021. So does this give us 0.3? Yeah, okay. Something very, very close. Okay, so I think probably the idea then is we have to buy or sell an equivalent, buy or sell some shares that could get us to the right exposure again. So I think what then we need to do is is equal to 0.03. Okay, so this is kind of our formula actually, right? So we have our original exposure. So this is our kind of loss. This is going to be our portfolio position. And then we need to then so we could divide this we could bring this over to the other side, so it would be divided by, right? How do we bring this 0.03 over to this side? I don't think we can. Oh wait, we could just divide this side by 0.03, and we divide this side by 0.03. Right, so we take divided by 0.03, and then we just subtract 1. So then we just get the actual thing. Okay, so this is the final formula that we need. So fund returns, okay, and then we have fund exposure unbalanced exposure. So this is kind of the exposure to the market portfolio before we rebalance after accounting for the facts of the fund returns. So I think we can do the fund returns, right? And then we'll multiply that X exposure plus X exposure times exposure minus fund returns. So maybe there's another way to think about this. Let's just try this first on the unbalanced exposure. Alright, and then we then need, so rebalancing. So buy or sell, this is equal to unbalanced exposure divided by X exposure. Let me subtract 1. So we get display, so let's display buy sell then. Okay, this definitely is not right. Times oh, I think, yeah, that's probably the reason why. Okay. Oh shoot, so we have to divide by 0. Display unbalanced exposure, so 0.2991, right? Do we have to flip these two maybe? Okay, X exposure. Divided by unbalanced exposure. So let's see. And minus 0.21. Yeah, no, I don't think this is right. So, right, this kind of gives you, yeah, buy, sell though. Oops. Exposure times what? So maybe I'm missing a 1 divided by. So it'll be 0.0021. Okay, let me think about this again. So we have 0.0021 times 1 plus is equal to 0.3, right? Okay, so we could divide divided by 0.3. Take the inverse. Display by so. Oh wait, 0.3 plus 0.3 times f 0.003 times 0.3. Times 1.3. What is this? 0.38. Yeah, that's way too high. Times 0.20. Oh, 0.020. Wait, not even. So 0.20. So x exposure, right? I think we divide this, but then man. Yeah, I'm curious as to why. Point 0.09. I'm curious as to why this is why this isn't matching up with 0.21. So then this becomes, so I divide by 3 on this side, I divide by 3 on this side, so it's 1 divided by 0.3, and then I take the inverse So it'll be 0.3 divided by, right? Alright, what is 0.3 divided by, I think it's 0.2991. Wait, 0.29 divided by 0.3. 1 minus 0.03. 0.3 is equal to 1 plus x times y. So z is equal to 1 plus x times y. I can't do math for my life. Why is this so hard for me? Alright. So okay. Also, we'll come back to this. Probably gonna head out from the actual cafeteria I'm in right now. So head over to the library. Alright. I'm gonna think about this as I'm walking over, because I'm not too sure what these numbers are given out, and it's annoying because I feel like this is so simple, yet it's so hard for me to think about all this basic math stuff. Maybe there's something to do with, so if I divide if I take our exposure divided by the unbalanced exposure, so what is 1 plus 0.0021 times, let's see, times, I think it's 0.99991. Okay, we have 0.3 divided by 0.2991. I guess maybe there is some rounding error. Now that I think about it, I feel like these numbers are probably pretty close, but there is just a slight rounding error with what's going on here, so let's see if we. If we go negative, okay, yeah, I have to think about this later. Probably gonna head out right now. Catch you guys in like probably 15 minutes. So, yeah, see you guys in the next one.